The Heartland Film Festival announcement is like Christmas morning to me for film buffs. I'm sure it's just like that for you. So congratulations on this announcement.
Thanks, and thanks, Trevor, for having me. I mean, you're very passionate about film. You do great interviews, so I'm glad to really talk to you about the stuff that matters to go with the theme this year.
It certainly matters with that theme. Tell us about that theme.
Yes, connect with what matters. I can't take any credit for it, our marketing team, but we're kind of hearkening back to like the early dial-up era of the internet, where internet was totally different then. It was a place of discovery, curiosity, imagination, not quite what it is now. People talk about doom scrolling, everything too. But really, I think we have curated content, and curated is like a big word, fancy word, but really we've picked movies that we think will connect with you, whether it's a genre film, a big Hollywood tentpole, a local film, and everything in between. So really, hopefully now you can go back, and I consider film festivals like sabbaticals. You kind of chisel your core a little bit, you find a little bit more about yourself. So I think people will do that with the selections we have this year.
And this film festival is for all audiences, everyone.
100%.
You can see the biggest movies, you can see independent films, you can see short films. What about that is so exciting that there's literally something for everyone?
Yeah, so most of our years we have submissions that are open online through Film Freeway. We have dozens of volunteer screeners, hired staff as well. So I'm kind of the gold prospector, if you will, and I have people in the river panning for gold and looking for things too. So we have all those independent films, which is 80% of our lineup. Then we have the big Hollywood tentpoles, and that's where I really chase and lobby to try to get these big films here. So you have the big, even the earlier festivals like Sundance, Tribeca, Cannes, and then now the fall, things are really heating up. So you have Venice, Telluride, Toronto, New York coming up. We have films from those fests that are coming here, like second, third, fourth screenings. So we've really kind of become this road to the Oscars. We've had some big premieres, big faces from when I started 14 years ago that have done amazing things too. So there really is something for everybody. You can have kind of like that deep cut thing, a film documentary that someone goes on and make big things. Short films, if you missed our short film festival in July, we have encores, the Hollywood tentpole. So really, people can just buy one ticket. It's an 11-day festival. You don't have to go to everything. You're invited, you can. But, there's time displacement. People are busy, but there's something for everybody with multiple screenings for a lot of stuff too. So, yeah, it's great. Like you said, it's like Christmas Day, it's our Super Bowl. Use all of the comparisons. It's a lot of fun to love the films and then see them on a big screen with audiences.
It really is. An artistic director, obviously. Greg Sorvig, I didn't even introduce you. Sorry about that, but here we are.
Yeah.
Artistic director, what does that entail? Like, how do you help choose these films? What is that process like?
Yeah, I just call it a glorified movie guy, the movie man. I see myself, a lot of people might say like a gatekeeper. I'm really like I said, the gold prospector who's really the head of the search, if you will, or the operation. But I'm a cheerleader. Really, I see these films, I think they'll connect with their audiences. Just because they played another big festival doesn't mean that you can just pick it up and put it in another location. And I realized that here too. I know, hey, this film played well. I can learn next year. Just get really excited. And I think people love local connections as well. We do have a great movie scene for production and critics and everything here too, but it's continuing to grow. A lot of people focus on the incentives and what's the situation there. But really, we have a lot going on here too. And, we're not a coastal festival. We might not have a big celebrity endorser. But we've done a great job over 34 years. We've gotten the trust of our audiences, and that's what the studios are excited about. They're like, hey, if this gets an audience award in the Heartland, in Indy, that's a big deal. So, and then you'll see like the laurels on things too. So it's great. We've developed the trust of filmmakers. We're a top 25 coolest film festival in the world, which is like a secret shopper situation. So it's not just us tooting our horn. It's, hey, people who've come to the fest and seen it. So it's really cool. I mean, it's just all the hard work over the years and like, hey, we really are at this really cool inflection point, which is awesome. And there's a lot going on in the world. So kick back, see a movie, connect with what matters, escape stuff a little bit during October.
Let's talk about those movies that you have, because you said it's not a coastal film festival, but they're familiar faces to 100%. Indiana audiences, especially with this opening night film, Rental Family. Tell us how you secured that, what this movie's about, what people need to know.
Yeah, what's neat is that I tell people that we helped start the Renaissance back pre-COVID, 2019. We had an anniversary screening of The Mummy. Brendan attended. Pete Hammond was here and did the Q&A. He had a King's Welcome at Newfields, sold out. People just went ecstatic, and you saw that. Obviously, it's hard for people to agree on who's just universally loved on the internet, and Brendan Fraser is one of those guys. So he came here. His career just got a shot in the arm after that when Darren Aronofsky had him in The Whale. We had that for closing night a few years ago. That won Brendan an Oscar. So this is his major follow-up to that. He had a smaller role in Killers of the Flower Moon, but this is like his next starring vehicle. Hikari, who's directed episodes of Beef, her second feature. Great film, just premiered at Toronto, so will be one of the first festivals after that. And it's the perfect opening night film. I look for a film that sets the tone for the rest of the festival, so it fits perfectly with the theme, and Brendan does a great performance within the film. So he's already kind of an early discussion. It's one of the most wide open years for the Oscars, but he's in early discussions for lead actor, possibly. There's an actor as well who's in Shogun, who has an amazing part in the film, who might be up for supporting. But it's just a beautiful film. Makes you think about your own connections, relationships, and your place in the world, whether it's perceived or not. So a lot of great themes that run through there, and it's a great opening night film. So we're excited to work with Searchlight again. We opened with The Real Pain last year, which went on to win some Oscars as well, and that had an Indiana connection with Jesse Eisenberg. But yeah, Brendan was born in Indy, so we're excited to have that connection really to kick off the festival.
These really feel-good movies, like you said, A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin, now here to Rental Family. It's so great that these feel-good movies are kicking off the festival, like you said, but then closing the festival, another Indiana connection. What can you tell us about that one?
Yes, so another Oscar winner, Rami Malek. He went to graduate school for theater at the University of Evansville, so that's how we can claim him here in Indiana too. But he is in the star-studded vehicle for a very important film, Nuremberg, about the Nuremberg trials after World War II. In a world before social media, obviously, and people, what we now know about the Holocaust, no one knew at the time. The atrocities, like they have in the film, they show the footage of what happened at these death camps and all over the world. It is crazy to think about. So Rami Malek plays the chief psychologist who's there to really try to get into the psyche of like Hermann Göring, played by Russell Crowe, another Oscar winner. But it's just a star-studded cast. Like I said, Russell Crowe is in it too. Michael Shannon plays the lead American prosecutor. Richard E. Grant is his British counterpart, who I think could sneak in for supporting actor. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about a scene in that film. It's just really good. And again, as a programmer, I try not to do, especially now with the state of politics and world events, we're watching things literally in real time as they happen, whether we like it or not. This, for me, is a good closing night film to say, hey, we need to look back, be careful where we've been, let's not forget, but just with a powerhouse ensemble. And it's just an amazing film, and I knew that we had to work with Sony Pictures Classics for closing night, but I got a 4-minute standing ovation at Toronto. You always hear that, like in Venice or other places, like, it only got a 4-minute standing, or a 2-minute, or it's like, a 20-minute standing ovation. American audiences are not like that. Yep. Usually the movie's over, I gotta get to my next screening, I gotta do something else too. But the fact that Toronto, which isn't known for being an ovation festival, that to me, like if I see something early, I can personally connect with it and have my opinion, but hearing that reaction with a crowd at its world premiere just solidified, hey, that's great, and hopefully the indie audience here will have that same reaction. But it's a powerful film, it packs a lot in, but it's like a psychological exercise, and you're there with the characters on both ends as well too. Very humanist as well.
Make sure you get those tickets for those, because those opening night and closing night films go so fast. Yes. Because audiences have to see these big movies. But that's October 9th, October 19th. What about these days in between? What kind of films can you highlight? Because there's obviously more Indiana connections with some Parks and Recreation actors, obviously fictional Pawnee, Indiana.
Oh, yes. So that's what's always funny, too. We hosted Robert Downey Jr. years ago for The Judge, because the movie took place in Indiana. Like, look at all that beautiful coastal Indiana that they have in the film. Pawnee, Indiana. Fictitious place, whatever, too. But there are 3 actors with films, both bigger and smaller, if you will, or indie films. Mm-hmm. So the first one, which also premiered at Toronto, Good Fortune. So again, another amazing trifecta. Aziz Ansari stars in the film, wrote it and directed it as well. But Keanu Reeves plays an angel who comes down to kind of help out a little bit, if you will. So
our audience loves Keanu Reeves. IndyCar connection, like he's at IndyCar. It's one of our biggest stories, biggest social posts. More than the race itself, it's like Indiana loves Keanu Reeves too.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm pinching myself because we have all of these amazing actors in different roles that are just, I mean, Julia Roberts, Jodie Foster, Keanu Reeves. People are like, if you would have told me a year ago the lineup would have some of these names in roles you're not usually used to, I wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, okay, really?
Right.
We'll check this out too. But yeah, so Aziz Ansari, it's a great comedy from Lionsgate. That's the first of the Parks and Rec trifecta, if you will, too. Nick Offerman has a support part in a film called Under the Lights, which is a great film that was produced by Vanishing Angle, great production company that we're good pals with over the years, and has a good star-studded cast too. But Nick Offerman, obviously, he has a part in that film, so see Under the Lights, just an official selection, narrative film too, about a young boy dealing with epilepsy, trying to go to prom and keep things under control. So great film as well, if you want to check that out. And then we have a world premiere, kind of a comedy drama called Premarital with Jim O'Hare. And it is about a pastor whose daughter is getting married, and he's trying to convert his non-Christian son-in-law to be. So some hijinks kind of go from there as well too. But I mean, it's just a role perfect for Jim O'Hare. If you lived in Parks and Rec, you'll love him in this as well too. And Mark Hapka's in the film, and he was with a premiere we had one of my first years too. So it's really cool to see how people come back in different capacities as well. But that's the Parks and Rec trifecta. Additionally, we have films that are either made here in Indiana or by Hoosiers that we put under the Indiana Spotlight banner. So there's still official selections, but they're up for even more cash prizes as well with our Hoodox Indiana Spotlight Award. So we have 9 films, 1 narrative and 8 documentaries, just a wide range of amazing films. And one that is going to be great, a world premiere that we have, is called The Tenderness Tour. Richard Probst is, I'd say, one of our leading activists, film critics. He's the namesake for our Social Impact Awards at Heartland and Indie Shorts. But his story is crazy. I mean, he's had, if you want to read like one of his books about his life, it's just completely unexpected. He's a very, very deep guy where he has an amazing sense of humor, sharp wit, strong opinions, but in a very good way as well too. So the film dives into that. He's had this event called the Tenderness Tour, where he's raised money and awareness by going in his wheelchair around the state of Indiana, usually with minimal planning in advance, and somehow people always find a way to help out. So last year he was on the tour trying to raise money for unpaid medical debt. He goes into that, trying to raise more than he's ever before, battling his past demons. His story is just unbelievable. And yeah, we're going to have the world premiere of that as well. Some other great films, Sweet Lorraine in Auschwitz, about a 10-year-old who was in Auschwitz and turned to jazz music from there too. And I won't give away too much, but that's going to be a world premiere as well. But we have great films made right here in Indiana. There's a film actually made by Hamilton Southeastern high school students and faculty called 1117. And it's like, oh, wow, this was made by high school students. That'll be a world premiere too with an Indiana Spotlight, but tons of movies that can keep going on.
I mean, we could name there's 100 filmmakers, 100 independent films. I mean, gathering all these people, how do you keep track? How do you keep track of like, okay, this one? What is the team like to assemble all of these great projects outside of the major tentpoles? Yes.
So, I mean, like I said, 80% line share are these true independent films too. We do not require a premiere, which people value, but we do have additional prizes and accolades for people who do premiere with us. So I think we have 19 U.S. and world premieres, which is phenomenal. And filmmakers really appreciate that because there's a lot of film festivals around this time, and I'm not going to be the one that's going to, hey, you gotta slow your train down until you come through Indy first or something like that too. So we really support films and believe in them and invite them. And then if they're a premiere, that's great as well too. But we have a team of dozens of pre-screener volunteers if people want to get involved. You go to heartlandfilm.org. We have a little mini test, if you will, to kind of see kind of what your critical chops are, if you will too. We're not looking for an essay on every film. We score on 1 to 5, really quick. Why or why not? Would you support it, not support it? Just some basic stuff from there too. But it's one thing to say you're a movie lover, but it's one thing to qualify it, quantify it, and watch a lot of movies too. So I liken it to like hearing from people like stand-up comics. I think Dana Carvey said it too, you know, like in his podcast, like you're born with it, you have to do it, or you don't. It's the same thing, because you can get burnout watching movies. I mean, I watch hundreds, thousands of movies every year, shorts, features, and it's keeping that curiosity and hoping you find something that really clicks. And rooting for movies to be good. You want them to be good. It's not like I'm the comic book guy from The Simpsons in the basement, just nope. It just stinks.
One of these that I know people will be rooting for is Christie, obviously starring Sydney Sweeney, Euphoria, Anyone But You, obviously the American Eagle jean scandal, but this movie looks so good, and you have a special connection that's coming here to Indiana for this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Black Bear is traditionally a production company who's been behind some amazing films over the years that we've had, from The Imitation Game. They were behind Sing Sing recently. Train Dreams, their centerpiece film too, but they just branched off into distribution, and this is their first tentpole that they are releasing as well in November too. So it just premiered at Toronto to rave reviews, and I think the performance, again, news cycles change all the time too, but this is one of those transformative performances that I think the industry and the Academy really love. Someone who does a physical transformation, who might be known for something different. But Sydney Sweeney does transform into Christy Martin, and if you're not familiar with her story, you will be after this film too. It's not an inspiring Disney sports drama. It's like you're not. A lot of these sports-related films, you go in and you know you're going to point A. How do we get to point B? We're going to get there as well too. This is a roller coaster ride too. And you know, the director's done some amazing things too. I mean, he started out with like Animal Kingdom back in the day. So you just know from his past films that Michelle really digs into a different place. Ben Foster plays Sydney Sweeney's trainer turned husband. And if you kind of know Ben Foster's flavor in movies, you can expect some of that and then pump it up to 11, if you will, in this film too. But it's insane. So not only does it kind of take you to places you didn't expect based on a true story, but the real life Christy Martin, so I guess spoiler alert, she's still with us. Not knowing the story, I was like, oh, I'm not, it gets pretty harrowing and stuff too, but she'll be joining us in Indy for the screening as well. So that's going to be insane. But that's a film too, regardless of what controversy that's out there and stuff too, had the world premiere, and people, that just changed the narrative a lot too. So I love that when you see something, you connect with something, and you know that it will kind of go in there too. It has some comparisons initially to like, and I saw this too, like when I see things in advance, then I see some other critics, but there's a little bit of I, Tonya vibes, a little bit. So I'll say it's an R-rated film, so if you, it's not, like I said, it's not the heel clicker point A to point B, and it's refreshing, to be honest too. So we'll have that, one of the first stops for that film as well. But we're really excited. So
I mean, that is so big time to get Christy Martin to come here, do a post Q&A after they watch this movie. How did that come about? How did you guys secure Christy Martin? Yeah,
so like I mentioned, Black Bear reached out, and they were really excited because they just shared the news a couple months ago. They're reaching out into distribution, and wanted to say, we might have some things for you to consider. One from there, and then October is the most populated month with film festivals, as I mentioned. So it's kind of seeing, where do the publicists want people to go, where the studios want people to go, and just so happened that if the stars align, we have a little bit of flexibility to put this film in this date right before we have to go to the deadlines, because marketing folks are always kind of like, okay, please don't change anything else right now too. So we looked out with the timing there too. So and just because of that factor as well, there might be some other folks that can make it to town last minute for some big things. You never know.
Right. So. And you never know also what other films could pop up. If you look, eagle-eyed fans will see like the lineup. Some of the things say TBA, like you never know. And I've seen from previous years, like some huge movies get added after the schedule's already been announced. Are there any still possibly in the works, like what you're still hoping for?
So we generally go to Telluride or Toronto, and sometimes we have relationships with studios and we can lock things early. It just depends on the cycle, because some things might just catch fire, and just like American Fiction a couple years ago, saw that at Toronto, loved it. That was, I think, the last film we added to the lineup, went on to win screenplay. So there are films that can rise up and go wild. So there's still some I'm fighting for, if you will. I'm still in the ring for, Christy style, but we'll see. But TBAs, generally if something sells out, if there's like one screening of a studio film, we've done that. We've done an encore of an opening film or something too. it just gives us flexibility that we need. But yeah, we've seen in recent years that we've been given invitations or for things last minute, and we just don't want to lose out to.
Yeah. Tell us about how there's also virtual opportunities. People can screen some of these movies from home. Obviously not the major ones because we have to see those on the big screen.
Exactly.
They have to be seen with an audience. What is kind of the virtual process that people can get involved in?
Yeah, if you go to heartlandfilmfestival.org, you can go on. We use Eventive Virtual, which is like the leading industry standard as well too. So $15 a ticket. I think 60% plus of the films are available online too. So just kind of like a pay-per-view, if you will, or a POV situation too. You can have the Eventive app on your TV, your smartphone, iPad, or whatever as well too. Security is all there too. But yeah, buy a ticket and then you can redeem it and watch it within a few days and kind of go from there too. And audience choice voting is huge as well. I remember back in the day when I started, we had paper ballots. We lost one in the back of a truck one year and we were scrambling, and now, so it's like, I feel like, Grandpa Simpson here, but it's all instant on my phone.
Yep.
Between online viewing,
the tickets,
yep. the in person, you'll get like a text reminder, oh, make sure to vote for those films. So I am all the time refreshing, seeing like, it's like a horse race, what goes up and down and stuff too.
Do you have any early predictions on what you think the audience is going to really connect to? What audience will be that choice?
You know what? Sometimes I haven't early feel, especially because we have an overall audience choice award, so the top film over everything.
Yep.
We have ones that are just narrative special presentations, so that way like a studio film doesn't run away,
yep.
whatever too, but it can still get overall. But I have been in the audience for big films that have premiered at Telluride Toronto, and the reaction was even bigger here.
Wow.
Russin was one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Home and Domingo,
yep.
Just Mercy, people like lost it for these movies. And in the screening, even like 20 minutes, and I'm like, this has it. I put money on it right now too. Yeah, there's a handful of movies that I think will do really well too. But sometimes I'm surprised as well.
We got to talk about Draft House
Yeah.
Cinema. Where did that partnership come into play? Because that's a new theater. People still need to go see it, but that's kind of a partner now for this.
Yeah, they're
festival.
a presenting sponsor of the festival, so they came on and they opened around a year ago now.
Mm-hmm.
But beautiful venue, 14 screens. They really took like the indie branding and coalesced it with the movies and everything as well. But just a beautiful space. And there's some theaters that even have additional party spaces in the back and everything like that too. But it has like a true festival vibe inside too. Mm-hmm. So people are waiting around, waiting for a drink, hanging out. It's going to be a great place. And we have multiple screens, and that's what I think really makes a festival atmosphere. It's multiple screens, people waiting between stuff too. I'm thankful we have reserved seating now. It wasn't like that back in the day.
Yep.
So I still have PTSD for the Star Wars prequels way back when. So you had to be there at midnight. They're like, what's seat am I going to get? Now it's like, I'm just going to waltz in and sit down a minute before and stuff too. So people can relax between screenings and grab a drink or something like that too, or meet a filmmaker they didn't get to ask a question to in the screening and everything too. But yeah, we're really excited to be there as well. We're going to have a cool filmmaker lounge area there too. But yeah, they've just been great partners, and I think they really want to, I wouldn't even call it competition between all these amazing venues that we have too, but I mean, it's such a big brand and franchise, and I have been to Alamo Draft Houses, which is a primary venue at South by Southwest and everything too. And this one, they spared no expense in a lot of areas, and it's a lot nicer than some of like the early Alamo Draft Houses as well too. So they did all the right things. We're excited to show it off. And it's, if people haven't been around the area for a while, like we are at Newfields as well for some of the big hits as well. It's just like a 5-10 minute drive from Newfields.
Yep.
So everything is fairly centrally located. So we have 5 different venues as well. Can Cinema is amazing. Again, first year going there is like, oh wow, I'm not just eating mozzarella sticks in between screenings too. So really cool vibe. That's like the filmmakers, kind of indie partner venue as well. Living room theaters, people absolutely love.
Yep.
We're known for like duck pin bowling and being cool.
Right.
Living room theaters and Bottle Works is one of the reasons that we are cool, because it's just a cool spot to hang out.
Yep.
State of the art, everything there as well too, and people just love it. They're just very impressive. They've never been to Indy before, and we'll be using the Indy Art Center for the first time. We used them for some outdoor screenings a couple years ago. But this year, they renovated their main theater space. We're really excited to be there.
And I want people to know about this connection. Obviously, you don't think of Peyton Manning when you think of films.
Oh,
but
yes.
Obviously, there's a Peyton Manning connection with one of the films this year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Peyton has been in a lot of stuff. He has his own production company, Omaha Productions. And the funny thing, too, is like, it's like Inside Out. It's like that gum commercial. I have so many dumb things that run through my head all the time, from like 80s, 90s commercials to now, and jingles and stuff, too. But Omaha Productions has done the Bush's Baked Beans commercials with the talking dog, and I just have loved those randomly and stuff too. But they also do unscripted stuff. So we worked with them last year when we world premiered Full Court Press. So we had Caitlin Clark and Peyton here, and it was just like meant to be right here in Indy. But yeah, Peyton has some fun acting chops too, and if you love watching like the simulcast for Monday Night Football. But he is in Is This Thing On? The Bradley Cooper's third feature from Searchlight. It's going to close the New York Film Festival the first Friday of our festival. We'll have it 2 days later.
Wow.
So it'll be one of the first audiences. The film stars Will Arnett, Laura Dern, and Bradley Cooper as well too. But Peyton does have some fun screen time in there too. So, Peyton's local. I'm not, who knows? Who knows what might happen? But he's been a guest over the years, and he's just a very gracious guy. Great sense of humor, obviously movie fan, producer. So, yeah, he gets it. It's really cool that he's in this big movie.
It's so fun for sports fans to see, but like you said, Julia Roberts, we have all these other just great, Andrew Garfield in that same movie with Julia Roberts. What are some of these other big tentpole movies that we haven't discussed yet?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I mean, I think a lot of international films too, but our main centerpiece film is Train Dreams, premiered at Sundance. That's my birthday festival, and I happen to be 41. Sundance is 41, so we share the same birthday, which is kind of cool. But I saw the film on my birthday this year. So again, the same team from Sing Sing, Clint Bentley and Greg Cuidar kind of work back and forth. A lot of great working teams do that as well too. So this time Clint is directing, Greg wrote, co-produced, but beautiful film that's based on a novella, but it really celebrates kind of the Americana every person who's kind of forgotten, and it's just very poetic and beautiful. So Joel Edgerton is in that film along with Felicity Jones, Carrie Condon, William H. Macy. But it's the centerpiece, but it is a good one that centers you at the middle of the festival. So we're really excited to work with Netflix again and have that film back as well. But a lot of international films. Yep. So usually there are 90-ish, 80 to 90 some films that jockey for best international feature film. Usually the non-English language used to be foreign film, but they've changed that a little bit too. And Neon is just, they've become a powerhouse. Yep. They've been a powerhouse, but they're not messing around too. No. I mean, with the Nora last year, they were at Cannes. They took they bought two or three top films, including the Palme d'Or winner, which is our international centerpiece. It was just an accident. Jafar Panahi, his amazing film, one of the most intense last 20 minutes of a film that you will ever see.
Wow.
I got to meet him at Telluride a few times. Phenomenal guy. I mean, he's been under house arrest in his home country for different things over the years. So this is the first time he's been back on the festival circuit with the film, won the huge Palme d'Or honor.
Which Nora won last year, so
yes,
maybe again.
Yeah, totally different film, I would say too.
Yeah.
But that's the power of Neon and these distributors who pick up these films of different genres and types. And just to echo that, just even for this year, so that was, a lot of these films are co-productions, and you'll see that as well too. It was announced just yesterday that is the French entry for the Oscars. They're kind of going between a few different films. There's a Richard Linklater film they're thinking maybe could have been it, but it was just an accident, it was named that. Additionally, we have Surat, which was won some awards at Cannes as well that Neon picked up. That is the Spanish entry as well. And then the other big one with Wagner Moura, The Secret Agent, just a phenomenal film, the Brazilian entry for the Oscars. Not only is it kind of like this kind of a spy thriller, but it adds this kind of sense. There's almost kind of like this, almost kind of like a horror film kind of inside of it as well, kind of a fantastical type thing. But it has to go in with kind of the public interest and what people are taking from the story that's sweeping the country with different leadership and police corruption and everything too. but it's masterfully done, and I'm just so excited we can have that too. So we have this huge mix of international films. So I will guarantee you right now, we are having Oscar nominees right here again, and I would go on a limb, said it last year, we're gonna have some winners too. But other great, independent stuff too. You have great premieres as well. One that's really fun that we saw through the process, it follows essentially a burlesque troupe, dance troupe, dedicated to the music of Weird Al Yankovic. So Tight and Nerdy is the name of that film. The directors are just a joy interacting with them in advance. That'll be a world premiere. And we'll have some fun live burlesque, nerdy things to go in front of some of those. So another reason to go there as well. But yeah, who would think that you'd have this just group of tight-knit, friends working things out. So it's something that has a fun title to draw you in, but then it's oh wow, there's some deeper connection stuff as the end too. But yeah, really neat stuff too. Ben Proudfoot, he's a 2-time Oscar winner for short films. He was a Pioneering Spirit awardee at Indie Shorts a couple years ago. He has just jumped into the feature world with The Eyes of Ghana that just premiered at Toronto, but a beautiful story about rescuing a lot of old footage from Ghana that was suppressed initially, thought to be lost. Beautiful film that really explores that as well. So we have a couple past Grand Prize winners coming back. So usually a film's international entry might be a bigger film that has a neon distribution. Film that premiered at Tribeca from past winners here, Sarah Goler and Mohamed Diab. This is her first time directing. It's a film called Happy Birthday, and it's the Egyptian entry for the Oscars. It won 3 awards at its debut in Tribeca. It was the first film, Cairo 678, that Mohamed directed and Sarah produced back in 2012, my first year. It was an amazing year. From that, Mohamed went on and premiered his next film at Cannes. He was the main showrunner for Moon Knight, and then this is their film, and it's a very touching portrait that deals with young actors. I feel like the Academy loves films. They say the old adage, don't work with dogs or animals. Animals are bonus, but if you effectively, especially with shorts, work with kids in a very, very good way, magic can happen. And we've seen that work with the Masters over the years, and I think this film, especially for her directorial debut, really harnesses the power of these young protagonists in a magical way. So yeah, there's, whether international films, local films, we have encores of short films from Indie Shorts that are Oscar qualified. So we have something for everybody, really. So I tell people, if you are utterly confused, I have 2 kids, my wife works as well. I am very last minute sometimes, hey, I have a sliver of time tomorrow or tonight. Go online, you can do the calendar view, look at what venue's closest to you, maybe whittle it down that way. But yeah, that's what I love. We have the printed guidebook, but you go online to the website, it's so easy to look at things. These are a lot of unknown commodities, so we have trailers or clips. We really implore the filmmakers, hey, if people have a choice to make, you can also, if we know someone's coming to town, you can go on the website and it'll tell you so-and-so will be here. And if you haven't been to a film festival and you think about, a big red carpet that's 2 blocks long, yes, we have some red carpets and photo ops, but you actually get to meet and engage with the filmmakers here. So that's what's really neat. I think you really get to see the film, connect with it, ask questions during a Q&A afterwards too. Buy a beer for the filmmaker. It's easy to spot with the filmmaker lanyards and stuff too. But that's what I love doing my job here. I travel to other festivals, but we have something special here that's at just the right size. You talk about Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. We are the perfect porridge right now. We're that temperature, the size. And so I think we'll look back at these are some of the golden years for sure.
They really are. And like you said, if you look at past Oscar years, if you look at documentary feature, animated feature, international feature, all the shorts, so many of these movies are at Heartland Film Festival that you might not know right now, but look in the future, just do your research. You will see these movies on this list, but people have to know how to get tickets. How can they get tickets? What's the ticket package? What individual tickets? What do people do?
Heartlandfilmfestival.org. You can get a fest pass to everything, virtual and in person. You can buy a ticket 10-pack that's discounted. You can just buy a ticket to one thing, just do virtual and in person. I would say definitely go in person so you can experience these films as they were intended. A lot of times I see the films on my monitor, which is still large, but I get to be reintroduced to these films too. But yeah, heartlandfilmfestival.org, check it out. We're easy to get a hold of as well if you need recommendations. You can call our hotline, or it's easy to find me.
Yeah, October 9th through the 19th.
Yes.
What else do people need to know? Anything else? Anything people need to know about Heartland International Film Festival?
Yeah, just come out and connect with what matters. Seriously, like I said, it's like a sabbatical if you've not experienced a festival before. Hopefully you'll dig in, find a little bit more about yourself, and meet some new heroes you didn't expect to in a lot of these documentaries too.
They certainly will. You will see these movies on the big screen. We're back at the movie theaters
That's
finally.
right.
Keep coming out. Greg, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, Trevor.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.